and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Look around. Home also need a makeover. Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Matching furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashphone store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashphone, feel it, know it.
You're the answer to my prayer. You're with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
So what am I watching?
This is my secret. Give us P capsules. Pema, I want to go from now on to me to my ding one pen. Give us P capsules. Over do us, Mama. Oh no, enemy lawyer.
And to lawyer, no, not show bottom. Are you pro? Then I found upon a machine about Siamwa as a Niji.
What's
No. You didn't know if you are coming. The friend give us cold capsules. Say yes, it's Yara and the wall swore. Cold did you nip a gem when in our posa a mamma and Tima Wunja wouldn't give us cold capsules. Obey your free
lawyer.
Give us cold capsules.
And I give us P capsules.
Hey, and they give us free.
Obey Chinasuma.
And men what if you do what you do, Cronkwan, Efra. Give us core capsules. A painful a batter, one more menu for one and Quadawin if you do me nunca.
There's nothing worse than your multi-bet missing. But nothing better than having it saved. Bet Saver.
Move to a year. Now, Haruna, went to our room, Ayarasabia. See, government. Ebola body I carry, AIDS body I carry. Look at my pay. Mr. Speaker, menyo, SSNTO, true. No kejo. Mr. Speaker, no kejo. Na Ghana, the view employment. Na sack. No kejo. True. Mr. Speaker, true. Mr. Speaker. Now you assembly. Don't try to have any and the Kurada did the shaman.
No, so I got it.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to another edition of the show. This week is a very important week in terms of the new government because President John Dramani Mahama will be delivering his first sessional address to Parliament in his second term. This week on Thursday, we'll be covering that fully for you and bring you all the analysis. Tonight, though, we have something to say. We're going to share with you some tidbits of information that we have. And after that, we're going to play back. The national service matter is becoming a big matter because the NIB, the National Investigations Bureau, has invited some people. Now, we also know something about the National Investigations Bureau and what they're going to be doing this week. We understand that they will be inviting former ministers of the NPP government, one after the other, to answer questions. We understand that it is part of the move of the NIB to begin the investigations of the things that Oral told them. We are wondering what it is because they have been speaking to Ameya Okunfi about SkyTrain, and Joe Gate, we learned yesterday, had been also invited by the National Investigations Bureau. We understand that all of this week there will be investigations to former MPP ministers. Some of them will be picked up from their homes in the morning at 5:30 a.m., some are 5:45, some are 6:15, and they are going to create a furore and a frenzy about picking people who have, as it were, stolen government money. But we'll see how that goes because the MPP ministers are very confident that nothing untoward has happened, and so they may do that, but they will not get anything. Let's see what happens. But let's begin tonight's program with a celebration and a dedication. I'll show you what it is. I'm going on to the touch screen right now to show what we are celebrating and we are dedicating. It's a big NDC story, and it's about Mr. Edward Annan. Now, I had encountered Mr. Edward Annan in the year 2000, way back when I was a reporter for Joy FM, and in those days we had been doing a story about Eddie Annan and SSNIT. The story was that there had been massive corruption at SSNIT, and that Edward Annan had been a beneficiary of a lot of procurement issues. That's the story we had. So we went on to the story. Of course, it was led by the great Komla Dumo and published and published and published and published. In the end, Mr. Annan sued Joy FM and the publication at the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice, and he was successful with the suit. Since then, I've also encountered Eddie Annan just last year when I was working at the airport. He has a plane called Passion Air, so we encountered him. Congratulations, Eddie Annan. Now, what fascinated me about Eddie Annan is that even though he and Akufo-Addo may not be political friends, what do the two of them do that at 80 years old? Can you put up the dance of Mr. Eddie Annan? Put up the dancer. 80 years, 80 years old. Look at NDC's Eddie Annan. 80-year-old man. 80. Look at what he's doing. The guy has been living for 8 decades, and see what he's doing on the birthday of his 8th day. Hey, I see. Oh, wow. God has really blessed Eddie Annan, and it's something that we should all celebrate. President John Dramani Mahama and Vice President Jenana Opoku-Agyeman, among many NDC dignitaries, were at Eddie Annan's party, and they spoke to him quite nicely. And in those days, he summoned me to come to his office at Passion Air, and said that, tell the chairman to come and see me. So they said, Annan said you should come and see me. I said, but of course, I'll go. So I went to see him, and he poured out his concerns about how he wanted the airport to work and Passion Air. And he added that if you don't do it, you know how Eddie Annan, if you don't do it, it's okay. We are going to lose the election anyway. We are going to win the election. So if you don't do it, that's fine. When we come, we'll do it. Because the right thing to do. That's how he talks. So congratulations, Mr. Eddie Annan, President John Dramani Mahama, and Vice President Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. We're all there to celebrate Eddie Annan. This is the beautiful cake that was cut at the birthday celebration of 80 years of Eddie Annan. Many of the NDC dignitaries were there in this photograph. Ibrahim Mahama, the president's brother, standing behind the president shaking dignitaries at the event. Here is KSM. I like what KSM is wearing with the stuff in there. KSM with Jenana Opoku-Agyeman and another person enjoying the moment. President John Dramani Mahama shaking hands with dignitaries. Here is Ibrahim Mahama and 2 other people. The policeman is looking away. He should be concentrating on the people he's bodyguarding, shouldn't he? Eddie Annan, I believe, took President Mahama around into the house and showed him a few parts of the house. This is some beautiful kente. I don't know why it's representing a monument, but it must be something very important. Maybe this is the shirt Eddie Annan wore for his 2006. Now, if you read our book, this one, the story about Eddie Annan in the 2006 elections when he tried to challenge Professor Mills. A lot of the information that we put out in this book, we analyze it from Kwame Nkrumah and other people, and then we gave a verdict. It's in the book entitled Africa's New Constitutional Leadership. We're just waiting for the president's sessional address and the budget to go away, and then we'll do a relaunch of the book and talk a lot more about it. That's going to come very soon. Eddie Annan's story is in this book as well. His political story, not his business story, his political story. Eddie has two sides to himself, politics and business. I think the business weighs more, but he has a political side as well. He ran for president before, and this is Dear Mama. You can see the 80-year-old Eddie celebrating his mother. Eddie Annan is also from Winneba, like Afenyo Makin. This is a very good photograph. Eddie Annan with Ibrahim Mahama and John Dramani Mahama at the party celebrating President Mahama, shaking hands with dignitaries who attended the party. More dignitaries over here. This is President Mahama and Eddie Annan. This is President Mahama, I believe, shaking hands with Sam George, with the defense minister looking on happily. Eddie Annan and President John Dramani Mahama. This is Sam George and the squad exchanging pleasantries and enjoying the moment. More of the squad celebration and jubilation. The NDC victory will be celebrated every week in, week out, weekend, week out, month out until 2028, I believe. Maybe until a new presidential candidate of the NDC comes up, and then maybe that may change. But until then, we are going to see a lot of the celebration of a famous election victory won by John Dramani Mahama and the National Democratic Congress. So congratulations to Mr. Eddie Annan, 80-year-old man who can do things like a 40-year-old. We have to ask Eddie Annan and Akufo-Addo, what do they take? What do they eat? What do they sip? What do they drink? What kind of exercises do they do? This is completely amazing. 80 years old, 80. Eddie Annan makes 80 look like the new, maybe 52 or 45, something like that. But this is very, very good. In honor of that, we prepared a montage to celebrate Eddie Annan and the NDC, which is the party to which he belongs. Congratulations, Mr. Edward Annan. Thank you very much for your leadership, even for those of us who are distant away from you, just observing you from very far away. Congratulations. And we know that those who have been around you have picked a lot of lessons in leadership and in longevity. Congratulations, Eddie Annan. This is for you.
I rise for Ghana, oppression of the land, for weather and seek your future, development our God, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to victory, the NDC shall lead, able Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity.
So that was one good NDC story, but this is a concerning NDC story. I don't know why they are always after my friend Joyce Bauer, but maybe she's the reason why they are after her. So Joyce Bauer has been talking, threatening to sue everybody. Says anybody who talks about me, I'm going to sue you. And so maybe she will sue us. But it's always difficult to sue us because we stay on the facts. We don't do that kind of thing. So you can sue, but you might not succeed. So this is the fact. This is letters that are coming out. Now, we all remember, before I go to that, let's look at what is this about. Enoch Kofi Nyako, how are you? You are fighting a good fight as a Lone Ranger. We support you. So Enoch Kofi Nyako writes, sends this letter and says that she's referring to Joyce Bauer. She says, you bought this car cheaply for $14,700 on 6th January 2017. just one day to the handover officially. Meanwhile, teachers and nurses who were employed before your government took office have been sacked. You drive this car happily and then call people names. So this thing must stop. You know, politicians are leaving office and then they say, I want the car, give it to me. But Joyce Bauer, you bought a government car for 14,000. A car that is not worth 14,000. You bought it for 14,000. Joyce Bauer says that she didn't say the price is 14,000. It is STC, the State Transport Company, who said that. So if we like, we should go and ask the State Transport Company. Joyce Bauer, you are buying a state car for 14,000 when you are minister. You can talk about other people. When you bought a car for 14,000 cedis, I have never bought any state car for 14,000. I don't know whether some of my friends have, but I have never bought a state car for 14. I've never bought some at all, whether it's 0 cedis, 100 cedis, 200 cedis, 500 cedis. I have never done that before. So why will people who go and do minister work like me, they are either same age, same skill, same qualification. I work in Metro TV. I don't get to buy a state car. I don't want it. Why is Joyce Bauer buying a state car? A practice that Akufo-Addo clearly ended. We all know what Akufo-Addo said when he was leaving. He said, no minister should take any car away. So we said on this program that Akufo-Addo has kept the cars. Any minister who buys a new car, we will know. And we will know that you are misapplying the state resources. This is Akufo-Addo. No official vehicle shall be acquired by appointees of the current government. So Joyce Bauer, between you and Akufo-Addo, who is a more altruistic politician? Who is a more patriotic politician? You, Joyce Bauer, you bought your car. This is Akufo-Addo speaking at the end of the government. He says, no official vehicle shall be acquired by appointees of the current administration. Akufo-Addo ended that practice. But you people say he's Nebuchadnezzar. That's what you say of him. But he ended that practice. Joyce Bauer, you were buying a car on 6 January. 6 January, you were hurriedly buying a car. If we call all those people who buy state cars as thieves, Joyce Bauer, what shall we call you? Because you and your friends have been talking about this for all the time. I didn't know that you have bought a car. I think that is very embarrassing. You have become a minister. You are living. Then you say that STC, value the car that government gave me and let me buy it. What kind of cheap behavior is that? What is that? That's why I like what Akufo-Addo said. Leave the car there and go away. Why should you take the car away? You can, after you finish being a minister, you can do what you want to do. Look at the letter. Joyce Bauer says here as follows. This is what she says. Since their crushing defeat in the last election, the MPP strategy appears to be nothing more than tickle yourself and laugh, in quotes. They have, she says, resorted to baseless, needless, and unjustified attacks of seeking to undermine my person for the lawful acquisition of a vehicle for personal use. Joyce Bauer, you are calling the car that the taxpayer gave to you as a deputy minister of transport. You are calling that undermine my person for a lawful acquisition. You call that a lawful acquisition. Now Akufo-Addo has made it unlawful. You said it's a lawful acquisition. You come and be a minister. They pay you. They pay. Today, recently we heard the fantastic salaries they pay. They pay you. They pay your driver. They pay your houseboy. They give you a bungalow. They give you a car. In fact, more than one car. You are living and you say that you lawfully acquired. Lawfully from where? That Toyota Avensis you bought for 14,000 is lawful acquisition. Joyce Bauer, come again. Come again. It may be lawful, but it is immoral. I'm telling you. It is completely and grossly and manifestly immoral for you to do that. Even President John Dramani Mahama, when he was leaving office in 2000, he didn't take the car. He didn't take it. He left it at the ministry. We'll go to his house and say that I left the car there. He had a beautiful Passat, very nice one, blue one. He left it there. That was in 2000. 17 years after that, 2017, you, Joyce Bauer, you are taking the car away and you say that you acquired it lawfully. After the election is lost, same way MPP have lost today. After the NDC was defeated, 6th of January, you are going home and you take the car and you say that you bought the car and acquired it lawfully. Really? And you can talk about other people that they are corrupt? I don't even know. I mean, I don't like people attacking women. You see, I don't like that. It worries me when women in public life, and that's why I went to the defense of Hawa Kumsin. I don't like that. But some of the things Joyce Bauer does, you cannot but explain to the general public, and it will seem like an attack. How can you say this? That you acquired the car lawfully. You, a politician, sitting on the taxpayers' money, sitting on taxpayers' salary. You've been on taxpayers' salary for 4 or 8 years when you're a transport minister. Your everything is paid by the taxpayer. And then you are going away, you take car that STC said is 14,000, I paid by cash. Let's see what else it says. It says the attacks would have been justified if, in their haste to attack me, they were able to show that the acquisition was not in full compliance with my conditions of service or any law. She says it was in compliance. My adherence to the law and service to Ghana is buttressed by the fact that I have not been the subject of any investigation or complaints regarding the acquisition of state vehicle. Well, sorry, Judge Bar, you are now a subject of immoral investigation. You are now a subject of perpetrating immorality. Political immorality is taking the taxpayer's car home. You heard Akufo-Addo, nobody should take any car home. That is the proper moral position to take. That is the correct moral position to take. Did your colleague ministers take car home? Did Omanibo Ama take a car home when he was leaving Ministry of Communication? Did Ablakwa take a car home when he was leaving Ministry of Education? Did Jenana Opoku-Agyeman take a car home when she was leaving Ministry of Education? Is that what you people were doing? I don't know. I don't have any evidence of that. But yours, there's evidence. And it is completely immoral. It is very, very immoral. You can't do that. You shouldn't do that. No politician should do that. And I'm hoping that we will not hear that new ministers are buying cars, because Akufo-Addo said, everybody leave your car. So every minister, you said Akufo-Addo had ministers, 1,000 ministers, right? Oh, okay, that's even better. Akufo-Addo had 80 ministers. You have 60. So 80 cars have been left. It's more than enough. No minister should buy a car. If you buy a car, we'll hear. We'll put it here. And I'm telling you, Sam George, all of you, if you buy a car, we'll know. Akufo-Addo says every minister should leave the car. 80 people have left cars. You are 60. You have 20 more to spare. You cannot buy a car with taxpayers' money in this circumstance in 2025. You shouldn't do that if you are moral. You can do it and hide it from us. We won't know because you are in government. When you leave government and come, we will know. But if you do it and we get to know, we'll publish it here. We will name and shame. We will name and shame. We will name and shame those ministers who, in spite of having come to meet Land Cruiser, good condition, sitting in the Ministry of Transport, Defense, Interior, Education, anywhere, that those cars are sitting there, we will name and shame you if we hear that you've gone to buy. If you buy to go to PPA, we will know. As soon as something goes to PPA, hey, minister has come to buy a car, we will know. We'll publish it here. Joyce Bauer, you should be apologizing to people that I will never do that again. It was wrong and I won't do it again. You don't come and occupy the moral high ground when you have very little morality. You are suffering from a deficit of morality in this conversation. You don't have morality. You don't have it. And then you are talking about people. She said, sadly, leading figures and rank and file of the NPP have made me a target of their frustration and constantly throw accusations at me, yet none sticks. Valuation of vehicles, she says, are done by the State Transport Company, and as the experts, they have their established criteria for conducting valuations on vehicles. So it is completely out of place for anyone to attack me on the price of the vehicle when the real questions should be directed at the State Transport Company to lay bare the parameters for conducting valuation to determine prices of vehicles. Notice, she says, is hereby given that unlike before, I won't hesitate to take legal action against such perpetrators of such false and malicious publications. It is not surprising that Ghanaians kick the incompetent and nation-wrecking MPP out of the government. Hashtag acta non-verba. Okay. Hashtag acta non-verba. All right. Joyce Bauer, you may be right about a lot of things you are saying, but who are you threatening? Who are you taking to court? You bought the car. You've sheepishly bought a government car for 14,000 cedis. When the cost of the car is about 160,000 cedis, you go and buy it for 14,000. You're telling her you take us to court. Really? Go to the court. You owe Ghana. I don't owe Ghana. You do. You've stolen the people's car. Stolen, in quotes, stolen. You've stolen the people's car. It's for the people. You bought it for 14,000 because STC said you should buy it. What's she saying here? Now, somebody said something I was saying. Ajo Enima, thank you. She said, Madam Joyce Bauer Bottari, this was you acquiring a state vehicle for 14,700 on January 6, 2017, the eve of a new president swearing in. At the time, you were the Deputy Minister for Transport. The issue isn't whether you acquired it legally or not. After all, those who you have accused of acquiring state property also have proper documentation. yet you label them corrupt. Respectfully, you lack the moral grounds. That's the point I've been making, Joyce Bauer. You are suffering from a deficit of morality. You don't have the moral rights to comment about anybody. You took the taxpayer's car to your house for 14,000 when it should have been for over 100 and something thousand. You took it for 14,000. And then Oral is talking about people who are collecting Cantonment's land for 150,000 instead of this. They have forgotten you are there. Joyce Bauer should go to Oral. Oral, investigate Joyce Bauer. Let's see whether she had the moral right to acquire the vehicle. Operation Recover All Loot. 14,700. Really? It goes on. Respectfully, Ajoa Nima says, you lack the moral grounds to accuse others of something you are equally guilty of. Suddenly threatening legal action over claims that you have been circulating since 2017 is quite amusing. If you are going by the NDC logic, you've had 8 years to take action. So why now? Is it because you are in power and can use that influence to intimidate people? Joyce Bauer, come again. Joyce Bauer, come again. You are not more Ghanaian than anybody else. Relax. You've won an election, but you're not more Ghanaian than anybody else. Whenever you speak, you have to be careful. I was standing here when Oral started. Somebody called me and said, Charlie, the Cantonment's land that they shared, I hope you are not part of it. I said, no, please. No, please. He said, because if you are part of it, you can't continue doing your Good Evening Ghana touch screen anymore. Because the Cantonment's land, it is not good. I said, thank you. So it's a moral question. You go and take state car for 14,700, and then you come and tell us that somebody is a thief, Joyce Bauer. You can't say that. Another person can say it. Maybe, I don't know who is there, Kofi Boache or somebody can say it. Yeah. Dom Level, yeah, he may be able to say that, But not you, Joyce Bauer. You cannot say that. This is you. This is you acquiring a car. The day before President Akufo-Addo was sworn in, you, Joyce Bauer, you were in a hurry writing documents and they signed it for you. Can you give me the full documents of the Joyce Bauer thing? Let me just get the signatures and then we'll deal with the documentation of the one that was signed for her. I think they're going to show you very soon. It's going to come. Joyce Bauer, it is you. You were acquiring these things. Is it here? Okay, yeah, it's here. 6 January 2017, that's the date on this document. It's Office of the President, Flagstaff House. 6 January 2017, change of ownership, / registration, make/type of vehicle, Toyota Avensis, chassis number is there, registration number is a 2014 car, and in 2017, I've done 3 years. Approval, it says, has been given for the ownership of the vehicle, whose particulars are shown above, to be changed into the name of Madam Joyce Bauer Modgari, Office of the President, P.O. Box, blah, blah, blah. It is noted that the above vehicle was sold to Madam Joyce Modgari as part of the end of service benefit as a political appointee. It's signed by the Honorable Julius Deborah, Chief of Staff. Political appointee. Have political appointees ended? Don't they still have terms of whatever? What do they call it? Terms of something. This is the receipt. She paid the money in cash. Joyce Bauer, she has money. 14,000 she paid. That's a car. The new Avensis. Joyce Bauer, you bought this car for 14,000 cedis. Erade. Why? Because you're a deputy minister. You are more Ghanaian than somebody. You are deputy minister, so you should get this car for 14,000. Why do you do those things? And if you've done it, that time it was good. Akufo-Addo has put an end to it. Akufo-Addo says nobody should do that again. So Akufo-Addo has issued policy against it. So it never happened in 2024. None of Akufo-Addo's ministers went to STC. Go and ask STC whether the work that you people gave them on 6 January 2017, whether they have been given that work now. None of Akufo-Addo's ministers did anything. So they didn't go to STC and say, STC, show me that. That STC work became superfluous. It was rendered superfluous by Akufo-Addo's policy direction that you cannot have the car. You, Joyce Bauer, look at it, you bought the car. Oliver Vamaho, my friend, Democracy Hub, have you seen it? Democracy Hub, have you seen it? You people have been talking about constitutional arrangement and what we should do. Joyce Bauer, she says that she acquired it lawfully. Akufo-Addo has issued a policy direction. Nobody should do it. I mean, why are we doing? Why do we do that? So, Madam Joyce, please. You can do your work as special advisor to President Mahama. I think that you have some useful advice to give him. I think that you have some experience. But don't ever come and say that somebody has done because you did too much. This is just embarrassing. This is just embarrassing. The Eduji Tamaklo says you have 20 years experience at the bar. After your 20 years experience at the bar, you went to buy a car for 14,000. Oh, stop that. There's another video they were showing. I don't know whether it's true or not. It has to do with the bag. I'm still on Joyce Bauer. Sorry for that. They said that now, because they talked about the bag and because we all talked about it, she hands over the bag to another person. Have a look at this video. Now, you will see in this video, yes, that's Joyce Bauer arriving. Oh, Madam Joyce, beauty with brains, they say. Now, the lady in the shadow appears to be carrying 2 bags. Joyce Bauer, there it is. He's telling us something. They're going to take a photograph. So Joyce Bauer has now handed over her bag to somebody to carry. I don't know whether it's the taxpayers who are paying her, the person carrying the bag, or Joyce Bauer is paying the person herself. But Joyce, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Now, you are giving the bag to somebody to carry. Are you afraid to carry the bag? The kinds of things you said about Samira carrying bag. Joyce, I'm talking to you. Look in this direction. Joyce, look here. I'm talking to you. Joyce Bauer, now she's looking. Okay, are you listening now? You are listening. When you were saying Samira was holding bag, you didn't know that a time will come that you'll be so afraid to hold a bag that you have to give it to somebody. That's how politics. When you do bad politics, this is what happens. It's terrible politics. Terrible politics. Joyce Bauer is there. She has. So that's. I don't know whether they are showing it again. No, she's going to take her seat, and that's the bag coming behind. They're going to give her the bag. Oh, Joyce. Oh, Joyce. What is this? Your bag. Oh, Joyce. The bag is for you. Why are you running away? Didn't Tamaklo say that you have practiced law for 20 years and you can afford the bag? Why are you running away? That's what happens. I don't think there's any problem with your bag. I have absolutely no issues with it. But the kind of campaign that you run is the kind of campaign with which you will be measured. So you said Samira cannot have a bag. Now you give your bag to somebody, you go and dodge, you sit down, they bring the bag. You think we won't know? So you thought that we won't know. The video has exposed you. Joyce, as for the Avensos, you can have it. We don't want it. The bag too, you can have it. But learn what to say at what time. I will leave it here because you're a woman. If you were a man, like the way I'll take it on. But you're a woman, so it's fine. All right. This story really delighted me. Randolph Chumesi Ankra, appointed CEO of GIADEC. Thank you very much, President Mahama. Good appointment. Lawyer, nice boy. But this is why it's important. It's the food for thought. What is GIADEC? CEO of GIADEC. And I'm suggesting this to Government Minister for Communication, Felix Kwakye Ofosu. What is GIADEC? Now, this is the point I'm making, viewers. When President Mahama was leaving office in 2017, there was no GIADEC. It wasn't there. Akufo-Addo created it. Akufo-Addo decided that we have to have an amalgamation of our mineral resources and do something good with it. He created a government company. Today, President Mahama has appointed somebody to the company that Akufo-Addo created for Ghana. That is legacy. That is legacy. When President Mahama was leaving, there was nothing called GIADEC. Nobody had thought about, nobody knew anything about GIADEC. 8 years later, President Mahama comes back into office, GIADEC has appeared. And he finds it useful to appoint a CEO to GIADEC in the person of Randolph Chumesi Ankra. The NDC people, don't you feel embarrassed about this? Don't you feel embarrassed? Don't you think that you should call Akufo-Addo and tell him something? You were leaving office. Akufo-Addo came in. You didn't have GIADEC. Akufo-Addo came to build GIADEC. Today, you are appointing chief executive of GIADEC because GIADEC is good for Ghana. That's legacy. Thank you, Mr. President. Your legacy will live. They can say anything they want to say. Time is going to erode everything, and time will tell the full story. This man has been appointed as GIADEC. NDC people should be should all be looking away. You didn't know what GIADEC is. Why didn't you come and close it down? Why did Akufo-Addo has appointed as down there? We don't like it. You came to see the quality of what GIADEC means. You have read the report. Even Togbe Afede has spoken about GIADEC and how important it is. Now you appoint somebody there. You are not embarrassed. You are appointing somebody. Nebuchadnezzar did GIADEC. You have come to appoint somebody there. And then you come into government. Give me John Jena post photograph if you can get it. You come into government 2 weeks. And the Akufo-Addo didn't sell one state company in the 8 years. He actually added. He added this. He added the Confit juice factory. He added that. He added. Akufo-Addo was just adding. You say that he borrowed. He borrowed to build GIADEC, for which you have now appointed somebody. GIADEC is a strategic government agency for the purpose of calibrating our mining resources. Go and check what they are doing there. Michael Ansa, I hope I get his photograph. Michael Ansa was the managing director of Dell in all of Europe. Ghanaian, Michael Ansa. He was managing Dell in all of Europe. He was the boss of Dell, all of Europe. Akufo-Addo went to see what Michael was doing in Europe and said, Michael, you got to come down. I beg you, come down. Akufo-Addo begged Michael Ansa, leave your job. Come to Ghana and come and do GIADEC for me. For the last 7 years, Michael Ansa has managed GIADEC in a spectacular way so that you can appoint somebody to GIADEC. The God of Akufo-Addo will speak very, very soon. You have come to appoint GIADEC and you come and tell us you are selling ECG. 2 weeks in government, 14 days, NDC first announcement. Oh, ECG must be privatized. We are privatized. Somebody came in, didn't sell ECG. You had a plan to sell it. Akufo-Addo said, no, I won't sell it. He kept ECG as it is for the people of Ghana. Then he created GIADEC, and you have come to appoint somebody. Then when you come, the man who left, you call him Nebuchadnezzar, who added, you come in 2 weeks, I want to sell ECG. You sell ECG today and we'll see. Governance is about adding. Governance is about legacy. Governance is about doing something. Governance is about having something to your name. It's not about propaganda in opposition to say Samira's bag is this, is that, is that. And when you come, you are giving your bag to people to dodge. And then since you take there, you are dodging. Really? We are only starting. We are only in February. We haven't reached anywhere. I salute you, Mr. Randolph Chumesi-Ankra. May you do a good job. And when we looked on our social media, I understand that he's one of those who has been writing into our program, writing against us about NDC. That's fine. That's fine. There's no problem. I mean, there are NDC people, there are MPP people, there are different strands of opinion. We are willing and happy to be criticized by different strands of opinion. Our responsibility is that we have to put out facts that are correct. That's all. How people receive it depends on their philosophy. So there's no problem about that. So Chumesi-Ankra watches the program and he's been biting us quite largely, but that's okay. Congratulations to him. But the message is to the young Ghanaian. 2 presidents, Akufo-Addo comes in, creates GIADEC. He goes away after 8 years. The president comes back. He appoints somebody to GIADEC. And then when they come back, they say, we want to sell ECG. So you want that by the time you are leaving after 4 years or 8 years when President Mahama and his people are going, we will see that government companies has reduced. ECG used to belong to government. ECG is no longer government. Akufo-Addo came in, every government institution he met, he kept it. He gave them money, ECG, VRA, Ghana Gas, GMPC. Akufo-Addo didn't sell nothing. He added. You come in and in 2 weeks, you tell us that you are selling ECG. Okay, no problem. No problem, we are there. We'll see how it goes. Let's talk about the last gossip before we get into the big interview of the... I'll show you the interview again, the National Service interview I had with Nana Boachi, Nana B, and Mustafa, the former Minister for Sports, who was also the Director of National Service. We showed it last week, but because of the circumstance of what's happening, we'll show it again to you right now. Felix Kwakye-Ofosu, my good friend. I won't say much. Watch the video. This is the video from Felix Kwakye-Ofosu. Have a look.
Mampani John Dramani Mahama, America Kraka, ye plan a chair one consent free in office, says when your Mampani Buno, African Washan Hukutupa, Esa Contagia Cassia, and Afiso, woman Crofu Numa Hodo, Aya, Womodun, Womo, and Tiasia Cram. The Sansim Betu Bay, UTV Cassia in your coin, and no Nyan for Felix Ofusu Kwache or no, Aye, or Swafa Bedi Chira, or Yankita Udin some so, Ekasai, no chilm say. Yen one pass a san semono, etimi pia bontin microfotimi cassette Mampani John Dramani Mahama, I was Aquanoso, or so bedia to Muprecopese, a woman's about to Cassia Coeno, or Mampani John Dramani Mahama, Edimun Kukudie, Nanso so, and Chese or Dinamamu, Abavier, a Mamra Constitution, our my gun, the boy Hombrano, a man who quines with me and a Juma, if it's Abrea, Kusi say, a Mirabedusi a Yakufra, a Beshan another Danko Kufuansa, Afonoso Ato Amamunoso.
Say, Yato. Abawia eno no nkyere se omampani owoso no na wegya mampani ye Ghana mra no ema emre potia aban bi emre a odi na konwa so no eba wiye na efibra obebe konwa so ekopem bra wa mama obebe wiye no wo ho kwan se dwumadie biara Ghana mra ma ho kwan se obedi no udi ene ese bi ahomache a ade kye a ye be swai omampani foforo no amanatene konwa no so no mpono wutumi edi dwuma e de boa oman no de hia ne se e famra kwan so se wokọ English abochimemu wokọ America wokɔ baabi a wɔ awiase afanan a yɛde kebima minke bi di dwuma sɛ ɔmampani bi tie konwa so a ɛkɔpem sɛ obefie konwa so da pɔten bi a mmara ne kyerɛ no ɔwɔ ho kwan sɛ odi dwuma.
I don't have much to add. Felix Kwachu Fosu was saying something in January. You heard it. And something is happening now. So we're just playing the video. Make your own analysis. And you can send us text messages on that. So, all right. At this rate, let me bring back the interview from the National Service people. I think it was last week. I interviewed Mustafa and Nana Boache, and they had quite a bit to say about what really happened with the National Service thing. Let's see the interview again and get the information right and correct, and let's see what happens as we go along. So let's go straight to the interview with Mustafa and Nana Boache. We would like to begin the conversation with our two important people. The former Minister for Sports, who is the acting director, and the national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, the Big Nanabi. Gentlemen, good evening. Scandal. So let's start with the beginning. How do you generate the PIN, the so-called 100,000 PIN, 91,000 PIN, that then becomes 88,000? How does it work?
So, Paul, first of all, let me say thank you for these opportunities to at least bring some clarity to the major issue that is trending currently, and also to thank your viewers for listening to us and for viewing us. National Service, I just want to give you some background, and I know you did some background. In 2015, there was a scandal, and that scandal brought in Dr. Kwesa White, who was the then chief presidential staffer at the presidency, was reassigned to National Service to be the acting executive director. When he came in, he put in certain steps. The first steps he put in, because before Kwesa White, the payment of National Service personnel's allowance was done on table. Okay, it was done on table. So when Kwesa White came, then he decided that let's now pay National Service personnel by eSwitch. And eSwitch is Bank of Ghana, GIBS. GIBS is Bank of Ghana's subsidiary agency. So they will pay, and the eSwitch is biometrically a card that you use to do. You have to take your biometric data for you to have the eSwitch card, so that you'll be able to access money that is put on your card. Then in 2017, we were invited by His Excellency the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to serve the good people of this country as the acting executive director and my two deputies. And when we came in, by then we came in February, because I got my appointment in February. But the National Service year starts from September to August. So I came in February. So the 2016-2017 service year have already begun.
Yes.
So my first posting was...
That's where Suleiman Brahma said there was no problem.
Yes, that is not, he didn't even, that wasn't what he said, it wasn't a problem. The next one.
The next one, yes.
The next one. So the 2016-2017, I didn't do the postings. I just came and met it. So the next one that I did was the 2017-2018. 2017-2018, which he said there is no problem with that. So I won't even go there.
Fair enough.
But let me give you the background.
2018-2019
is the issue. But before I go to the issue, I want to take the public and your viewers and the Ghanaian public to the processes that we go through in deployment of our National Service personnel. First of all, when the time is due for National Service deployment, we have these our institutions. And when we have the general institutions, that are the universities, both public and private, we also have the nursing training colleges, we have the teachers training colleges. So the general posting is the universities and the polytechnics. So we write to them that they should bring us their final year class list, so that we'll be able to process them for National Service. So once all these institutions, and before I go, we have 3 cycles of National Service, as you said. We have the General National Service, we have the Teachers National Service, and we have the Nurses National Service. So when we come to the General National Service, their period is different. It starts from September to August. Then the nurses start from somewhere April. The first cohort is April, and the second cohort is also September. The teachers, normally we deploy them in December. Then they'll start in the new year. So these are the period that we do the deployments. Then once the data is submitted by the general, for example, in 2017, my first posting will start, normally we'll start earlier before the September. So we'll ask the institutions to bring the data. When the data come, we then process them. But because in 2016, 2017. We observed national service, and there were issue of, and because His Excellency also before he appointed us, and because of the previous experience, he gave us a marching order, especially me, because the President himself signed my appointment letter, and he gave me a marching order to ensure that we bring sanity to national service as far as Ghost name is concerned. So I was much concerned. So when they bring it, we generate PIN numbers for them. And those days, the PIN numbers.
When they bring the list.
When they bring the list.
University of Ghana brings 10,000.
Yes.
Then you generate PIN numbers for the 10,000.
10,000. They will come.
By their names, index numbers.
It will come with their index numbers and their names. But we use the index numbers to generate the PIN number for them. We use
so that every PIN number should be unique.
Yes, to the person. But our first deployment, when we did our first deployment in 2017 to 2018, which Suleiman Ibrahim of 4th Estate said there was no issue, we detected a lot of problems. And the problems we detected included impersonations, and some people, for example, Paul, if you have completed teacher training college and you are posted to Tamale to go and teach, and maybe you had a diploma from teacher training college, or you had teacher certificate from teacher training college, and you're teaching in Tamale, you're already a permanent teacher. So when you get the opportunity to further your studies at a university, for example, University of Ghana, and you finish your university and you are going to, you are supposed to, we ask the university to submit their class list to us. They will include your name into the class list. But because you're a teacher, you go straight to your teaching, because you were posted as a servant, somebody who is already on government payroll. So you go back to your teachings, your study leaves, you go back to the schools that you are teaching. So you might not be interested. Those days, the teachers were not interested in doing national service. But we realized that in our first posting in 2017 to 2018, people were impersonating
the teachers.
The teachers.
Okay.
The teachers, they were impersonating.
So how did you do that?
Because we realized there was investigation. Manasseh Azure did the investigation, and we called it even national security.
But Manasseh is also 4th Estate.
Yes. At that time, he did the investigation. He even visited my office at that time. Then
you spoke to him?
Yeah, I spoke to him, and I took him through all the process. Then I took him through all the process. Then in 2017, 2018, when we did all this, we identified this impersonation. We called on national security and the BNI. Then the BNI, it was BNI, National Investigative Bureau, NIB, to assist us to come out with a very solid platform, so that we'll be able to deploy this national service without a program. So our next posting was 2018, 2019.
That's where the problem is.
And that's where Suleiman Ibrahim have detected this problem. In 2018, 2019, on 4th May 2018, we issued a press release asking all prospective national service that their PIN numbers have been generated. And this was 100,209 PIN numbers that we generated from all the institutions. Out of that, 85,708 were deployed. As at the time of deployment, those who have gone through the registration, because I was telling you that when we generate the PIN numbers for them, they have to go through the registration process. And because we detected this duplication, we put in some system, a new national service deployment system. And in that deployment system that we put, number one, we put in the central database system. We linked it with our website. And because we linked it to our website, the central base system contained the national ID, the passport of everybody who has passports. ID is on the central database. We also have the driver's license. Those who have driver's license too is on the central database. Those who have SNIT card, it was also on the central database. So we then decided that, okay, if we have this data, that we can use it to link up with our national service system, it is easier for us to be able to detect those who are impersonating. Why? Because once you come to register, we have generated a PIN number for you with your index number and your name. Then you come and register. First of all, we'll ask you to put in your index number. Once you put in your index number, you have registered, we'll ask you for your national ID number. And that is the time we introduce the national ID number. And then on this communication, we spell out all the details that you need to make sure that you're able to go through the registration. So the the system will pull your ID for admiralty with your passport picture, your passport with a bio page where your picture is But to ask you, can you confirm your details? Then once you confirm, then you go through the registration process. Then you complete your registration.
So you mean if I'm going to register as a national service person and I have a passport, since you introduced this central database, once my name is there, the passport will come up.
Yes.
For me to confirm.
Confirm. And if you don't have passport and you have
any other card that is
it will pop up.
Okay. All
then
right.
what we also detected during that process, people, when you have, as part of the registration process, even when you have your